John was a student who had always excelled in his studies. He had a natural curiosity and a thirst for knowledge that had propelled him through the early years of his education. However, as he progressed through middle school and then high school, John began to feel like something was missing. He found himself losing interest in his classes and feeling unmotivated to study. Despite his best efforts, John couldn't seem to shake off his lack of motivation. His grades began to slip, and he started to doubt whether he had what it took to succeed. He felt like he was just going through the motions of school without any real sense of purpose. That's when John's teacher, Mrs. Thompson, stepped in. She recognized that he was struggling and took the time to have a heart-to-heart conversation with him. She shared her own experience of losing motivation in her studies and urged John to find a sense of purpose and meaning in his education. At first, John didn't know where to start. He had always enjoyed learning, but lately, he couldn't seem to connect what he was learning in class to anything meaningful or relevant to his life. Mrs. Thompson encouraged him to start with what he was passionate about. She asked him what he cared about and what he wanted to achieve in life. She suggested that he look for ways to connect his studies to his passions and find ways to apply what he was learning in class to real-life situations. Her words struck a chord with John, and he began to search for ways to connect his studies to his passions. He found inspiration in volunteering and helping others, and he discovered that he could apply what he was learning in class to real-life situations. For example, in his science class, John learned about the water crisis in many parts of the world. He was passionate about environmental issues, and he decided to research ways to conserve water in his own community. He started a project to raise awareness about water conservation and to encourage his fellow students to reduce their water usage. As he worked on the project, John felt his motivation returning. He became more engaged in his studies and started to see the value in the knowledge and skills he was acquiring. He realized that his education was not just about getting good grades or getting into a good college, it was about making a difference in the world and contributing to a cause that he cared about. With each new connection he made, John felt his motivation growing stronger. He began to see the world in a new light, with a sense of purpose and direction that he had never felt before. In the end, John's story is a testament to the power of finding meaning and purpose in our education. By connecting our studies to our passions, we can rediscover our motivation and achieve great things. Mrs. Thompson's guidance and encouragement showed John that he could make a difference in the world, and that realization gave him the motivation he needed to pursue his dreams.